political rumbles here in New Corwave TV. It's a pleasure welcoming you to this exciting and, of course, very interesting moment of the political rumbles here in Corwave TV. Towards you're getting on well. This is Unitized Seasons. Wishing you all the best of the seasons with its enormous blessings wherever you might be residing across the nations of the earth. You can join us now because we are rolling the game now, the program this morning. Thank you for esteemed fans who facilitated with me on the occasion of my birthday yesterday. I deeply appreciate, of course, your prayers, your wishes, and of course, your kind gestures. God bless you. I really appreciate you, mostly Mommy Joy Ehi and Mazi Jude. Thank you so much. God bless you. And the host of others, of course, in anticipation. Yes, we are here live and direct. Of course, you can see we are very ready to continue the in-depth analysis of today. Much as especially we have very topical issues, which is of great concern. The president of the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have expressed dissatisfaction, of course, over what he called the failing security situation of the Nigerian state. He is not satisfied with the state of security or insecurity rocking the entire country. Across the length and breadth of this country, nowhere seems to be secure, not even the Federal Capital Territory could be, of course, assured of such level of security because there is panic and some restiveness, of course, within the Abuja Federal Capital Territory. And this is building up as if we have not seen an end to this. But the fundamental questions we must review now, what has the president done to remedy the situation? What has the president, of course, plans to nip all these crises at the port? Yes, and that is quite interesting. He is not satisfied 6 months down the line, assuming the, of course, office of the presidency. He has come in terms with the reality. With what is happening, he is not satisfied. Of course, of most recent, one of the police stations was burnt, and the president ordered the military to protect democracy. But beyond that, what should the president do, of course, to win the confidence of the people that is really committed to the security of their life and property? Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure welcoming you to this political rumbles this morning.
Good morning, of course.
Yes.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Happy.
And good morning all over the world, wherever you are.
Thank you. Happy Unitized Seasons.
Yeah.
How are you seeing the environment and the Christmas just around the corner?
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah, actually, whenever it is Christmas period like this, there is a lot of things are changing. So even the environment, the air, everything speaks the language of Christmas. So so happy. It's a time of excitement. It's a time of celebrity. It's a time of celebrations. It's a time of welcoming one another. Those abroad, those home, those citizens. We see each other within this period.
But they may not be coming because of the security. The president have cited, of course, his worries. He is worrisome about the state of insecurity in Nigeria. If the president is worried about that, then what can an average masses on the street do?
Those in diaspora are coming. Yes, I've seen a number of them within this year. Even since November, they have started coming. In the unlike the previous years, they refused to come at all. But this time around, Some of them that have investment in Nigeria, some of them come to confirm their investment and what the money they have been sending, if it is invested or not. Some of them want to come and see their beloved ones and their relatives. They are there. Some of them will visit their rural area, their village. So they are coming. They are coming, and I think security men are doing a lot this time around. In as much as they say that our security is in our hand. So, but we are depending on God. God will always protect us. Thank you.
Now they are coming possibly in Lagos or Abuja, where seems to be relatively calm
The ones I
or
have
secured.
The ones I've seen them in Lagos because I'm in Lagos. So I also believe that some people will be coming to other cities like Abuja and Port Harcourt and other places like that. So, and I believe that some of them might like to visit their village. So during the time of festivity, this time of
Okay, what do you have to say regarding the position of the president that he is not satisfied with the security situation in Nigeria?
Actually, he cannot be satisfied because if he has conscience, he cannot be satisfied because a lot of things are going on in Nigeria that is obvious that the hand of the enemy is in Nigerian defense, the hand of the evil ones. Can you imagine in Kaduna, they say the military made mistake and throw bomb and kill the villagers, and it happened again twice. So when you say that some group of people from Boko Haram have surrendered gun, and you recruit them in the army, they are repentant Boko Haram, and you recruited them in the army, what do you expect? You will expect more of these things. So you don't do that in advanced world. In the area of intelligence, you don't put an enemy to be your guide. An enemy cannot guide you, or rather, you'll be giving information to your enemies or opponents. So that is one of the grievous mistake Nigerian army has made.
Grievous a mistake in that regard. Do you think it's pardonable? Because you can't accept such mistake.
It's a grievous mistake.
It's
a grievous mistake. When I say grievous like this, I'm saying it with every amount of annoyance. That it is grievous mistake for employing Boko Haram. They say repentant Boko Haram. They came to Nigerian army and you recruit them as soldiers, and they are going to different places causing havoc, killing the people they're supposed to protect, throwing bomb to the villagers in their farms, in their homes. You kill them, and they say it was a mistake, and it repeated again. My brother, who is to be blamed? Don't you think that it's obvious? It is obvious that it's Boko Haram in Nigerian army that is causing all this havoc. It's not pardonable. These things they're supposed to scream them. All those people they employed, and also check the activities of the army. Whenever they say they want to investigate, that gets me angry because I know the country I'm into. This country, like they say, they will investigate what? They can send 300 million, and if anybody find out something happened, forget it. So in Nigeria, they told us that our security is in our hand. Mr. President is not doing enough. Whipping cannot solve the problem. Self-sympathy cannot solve the problem. But what solves the problem is put the right people there.
Put the right people there. But he happened to change his own service chiefs. I don't know the right people he should put there, or should he look for another people?
Changing them.
And besides that, I'm surprised that the president has not paid visits to the Kaduna victims. Or are you aware of that?
Actually, I'm not aware that he has not gone there. But yet, if you see, going to that place, they may not even spare his life. They may not spare him because they are angry. Why should you allow that? Yeah? During the time of this man, Erufai, as governor of Kaduna State, many lives, thousands of lives was lost
in Kaduna.
And they are recovering from that pain, and this one happened again. So Kaduna people are not happy. Honestly, Nigerian people are not happy.
Kaduna being has the highest military formation. Yes, and all these things are happening.
That is where Nigerian Defense Academy is. they have Nigerian defense in Kaduna. Then all these things are happening there, and they call it a mistake. I don't believe it's not a mistake. It is a deliberate act. It is a deliberate act.
Even though it's a mistake, is a unpardonable one for that
If
matter.
it is a mistake, why should you repeat again? It's not. See, when you say pardonable, you cannot repair life. But there's something you bear in mind. Something you bear in mind that you find out the cause of the whole mistakes. You can vow to find out where the mistake is coming from and correct it. That is the kind of remorse we are looking for, so that if that kind of thing will not repeat itself.
Honestly,
In fact, I was crying with them when I saw mass burial. When I saw people crying, you kill 100 and something innocent citizens.
and
That's very sad.
because of them, of course, sustaining degrees of injuries, amputations, and with which they will live with that for life.
Yes, of course.
It's quite sad.
Yes, of course, some of them are still in the hospitals taking treatment. But Mr. President is supposed to visit that place at least. He's supposed to go and tell them sorry, to show them how he feels. They are one of us. He should go there and they also encourage those ones and give them even money and food items.
Of course, he shouldn't be reminded of his obligations to the Nigerian masses.
Yes,
These are one of the, of course, way he can express to have the sympathy and the people at heart. Because I don't see American president or any other president of responsible nation losing more than 100 of her citizens in a single day by a reckless action, even from the instrument of the state, and the president cannot show up.
Mr. President,
It is not enough.
when he had not become president, when there was a kind of incident in our Ondo State, then when they said that militant or terrorists went to church and they bombed the church, Mr. President donated 50 million naira. He was not president then. Talk less of now he's president. He's supposed to do more.
Honestly, supposed to do more. Amidst the insecurity, Nigeria is also, of course, grumbling, trying to survive hunger, which is part of insecurity. Nigeria groans as basic needs exceed real income. Nigerians' basic need now exceed real income. So how could they survive such mishaps, economic mishaps?
Of course, we are only. I told you we are depending on God, because if you have confidence in the Nigerian government, you will die. So many people are jumping into a canal, jumping into Third Mainland Bridge, jumping into river, and committing suicide. And nobody cares to know. And nobody cares. What we would have asked ourselves, why is it high, on the high rate now? Why is it on the high rate? Because some people cannot afford for living. Then they decided to do otherwise. So people are dying, but I don't even the option of committing suicide is not is out of it. I don't want anybody to commit suicide. And my advice to everyone is that a silent patient, these things will not last. A silent patient, these things will not last. Then the cost of things going high during this time around, you see, when you employ someone that is not an economist, somebody that don't know how to handle economy, they run people in strategic positions. What do you expect? There are some people that Nigeria need a great economist that can handle the economy. And they came and you deny them that. They would have handled the economy well because they are experts in the field.
Because all these excuses they are giving now is not tenable.
You told us
You cannot tell us you are the grand commander of the armed forces and you are not satisfied.
Dollar is flying high.
Imagine.
And it went to 1,300 and something. And you use money to sustain it. You launch money into the economy to sustain it. How long can you sustain that?
Without production.
So you should encourage producers, local productions. People will begin to produce here locally. I think we can grow to the level of exporting to other countries.
Honestly, how possible is that when the national grid keep on collapsing? The national grid have collapsed uncountable times just within a shortest interval. And now the last collapse is just 43.5 megawatts. Can that be enough for a particular just community, let alone to
In fact,
to run a sustainable industries.
the power supply have worsened. The national grid that collapsed, is it it used to collapse from time to time.
Time to time, if that's 2 weeks.
So it seems that they don't have interest in it, or there are some people are benefiting from the thing being collapsed. Every week, every 2 weeks, every month, you hear that national grid collapse, the other one collapse.
Honestly, even is that how to build a sustainable economy?
So there are other countries in the world. America is there. Let us not even compare America.
Ghana here.
Ghana and the other African countries are enjoying light, uninterrupted power supply. Why must our own be different? Please.
Why must our own be different? It's quite sad.
What it means that we have not even, the experts are not there, the right people are not there. That's why those things are happening. Until you employ the right people and the president that can take care of this.
Honestly, finally, until we employ the right people, look at what is happening at the State Assembly in Rivers State. It appears the people that occupies the seats of State and National Assembly have no business being there in the first place. 27 State Assembly defected to APC. Of what interest, purpose does that serve? Does that increase dividend of democracy? You can imagine they are only just for their selfish interests.
In Rivers State, what I'm seeing there is battle of generals. I call it the battle of generals. Mr. Wike is trying to be the godfather of Rivers State. So Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, is causing a lot of damages in Rivers State. He should remove his hand from Rivers State. When you hear that those people defected to APC, it means that they are being instigated by someone. It is not
of course.
Because I know Rivers State for PDP. I don't know Rivers State for APC. So for them to defect to APC, it means that someone is instigating them
for personal and selfish interest.
So Wike should remove his hand from Rivers State. He has ruled Rivers State. He has handed over to the Wabala. What's the name of that man?
Fubara. Sim Fubara.
So he should allow Fubara to rule Rivers State. Then we should even hold him responsible for good or bad in Rivers State.
Some say that without Wike there wouldn't be Fubara. But was Wike the one who brought himself? Amechi brought Wike there. He also kicked against Amechi. So why is he afraid of being sidelined?
Whether he introduced him or not, what I'm even against is issue of godfatherism. It kills a state. That is what some state is suffering from today. Some of the money that's supposed to go to state treasury are now going to private posts.
It becomes a personal investment.
They will share the money from the level of the godfather will take or give condition. Look at the percentage of money you should be giving to me.
Imagine an individual
every month. Then when you divide the state money or wealth into two, or the allocation coming to the state, you divide it into two, and Godfather will take one. And from there, you pay the civil servants. From the remaining one, you pay yourself. From the remaining one, you run government. My brother, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and will not work. I hope the people of Rivers will stand up at this time. Well, if they care, because it's quite unfortunate that people does evil and get away with that. That's why they are more emboldened and empowered to continue perpetrating atrocity and wickedness. It's quite sad. Thank you so much for your wonderful submissions. I do appreciate you. Fubara, being the executive governor of Rivers, of course, has a social contract with the River people, not with Wike. Whatever personal agreement that may have taking place is immaterial, because Fubara took an oath of allegiance to protect and defend the interests and well-being of all and sundry within Rivers State, and not just to Wike. So I consider that defection as the height of recklessness, as the height of impunity, as the height of insensitivity. if this defection was to serve the people, of course, it would have been commendable. But this is just meant for personal interest and destructive notion for that, which, of course, will fan an amber of war, unrest in Rivers people. Good morning, Mr. MC Grammar.
All right, good morning, my people. Good morning, Nigerians and diaspora. Good morning, Nigerians and Nigeria. Good morning, Nigerians anywhere. You're watching me for this is MC Grammar, the one guy that speaks the truth at all the time. I'm here live on the right again. Yes, just to try to buttress something to go on my friend.
Yeah, Jagaban said, who happened to be the president, that he's not satisfied with the security situation. The president saying that he's not satisfied. So what is your take?
What is he satisfied about then? Anyway, he's the president of this country. He said he's not satisfied with the security system. Of course, what are you doing as a president to make sure you curb security in this country? What are you doing? What kind of mercenaries are you trying to import to this country? What are the things the gadgets that you're trying to use to fight security aspect? This should be considered. Not by saying that you are not yet satisfied with the security. What are you doing as a person? Are you providing them with the equipment that they need to use to fight the security aspect? This is a question we need to ask. Or rather, what are you doing? You are not doing anything. You're folding your hands, you're watching, and now you are saying you are not satisfied with the security of this country. That looks like a baby talk to me. So please, you need to stand up. You need to come up. You need to stand like a man. Do something, because everybody will always blame you, the president. Nobody blames the chief security officer. Everybody got to blame the president when something is working. Nobody is blaming the chief security if the country is not working. Nobody's blaming. They all they will blame is the president. So what is my president doing to correct the security aspect in Nigeria? What is he doing to correct all the hazards we've been having in security, the security challenges in this country? What is my president doing to correct it? That's the question. That should be the question the president should be asking himself, not by saying, I am not satisfied with the security. No, that's a rubbish.
Under his watch, the military or the service chief or defense chief have said the killing of more than 127 Nigerians, the massacre in Kaduna State, was as a result of administrative error on the part of an institution that is known to be, of course, precise in their actions, in their decisions, well disciplined and well coordinated. They are telling the world that this blunder was as a result of mistake in this digital global society.
Let me tell you something.
Your take on that?
You know the reason why Nigerians will always tell you it's a mistake, because they know Nigerians will forget things so easily. You don't try this in America, and you come out to say it's a mistake. You're a madman.
Your mistake took the life of more than 100 citizens.
You come out to say it's a mistake in America. Are you mad? No, but the only way you can do that is in Nigeria, because we easily forget things. We easily forgive people. That's why the so-called stupid chief security officer came out. He said it's a mistake. Why would he say it's a mistake in an advanced country? I would have loved it if the soldier had composed a story for me. I swear to God Almighty, I would have loved it if he had composed a story that we thought they are Boko Haram, so we striked. I would have loved it that way. Not by telling me it's a mistake. How is it a mistake? It's a mistake that you wasted so many lives, and you are coming out to say it's a mistake, and nobody's held accountable for it. The chief security officer, he is supposed to be sacked.
Exactly, and nobody is held accountable.
Nobody's held accountable.
So is it also a mistake that Nigerians are groaning as basic needs exceed real income? Is it also a mistake?
That's what I'm saying.
Why is the economy crumbling?
Okay, look at so many companies are folding up in Nigeria.
Are folding up.
And you keep asking your question. It is because these religious people are not doing something about it.
Is that also a mistake?
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
That P&Gs are leaving, that the national grid is also collapsing.
I just don't understand what they mean. What would you say is a mistake? I don't love it when somebody people uses that kind of language. It's a mistake. Okay, why is it that as I am now? Why? I just want to give you an example. You know what it means? It just means that it looks like this. The scenario is the same thing. Now you are going on the street, you now decide to use cutlass and cut 3 people head. Bah, bah, bah. And what they answer
I
is
said
a
it's
mistake.
a mistake.
As in,
You cut people's heads,
yes,
and they say it's a mistake.
It's a mistake. You killed 127, you say it's a mistake.
Mm.
As in, what is the problem of this country? Where are we going to? But anyway, I will not blame them. This thing boils down to religion, because these people, don't forget, the chief security officer is either a Christian or Muslim. Either he attends mosque or church. These people are not, they don't worship traditional something. They are Christian and Muslims. So what is affecting this country is from Christians and Muslims. We are the one doing ourselves. The so-called stupid religion that you claim is the best religion is killing you. And the so-called people that are telling you is a mistake, either is a Christian or is a Muslim.
Now,
So,
away from
I'm
that,
telling you it's a mistake.
27 PDP state assemblies defected to APC.
Because
Your
those
take on this
those
in
ones
River
are,
State?
those ones are just stupid. They are so stupid and senseless. Sometimes, what you see about that is what money can do. Please, I used to tell people, don't doubt the power of money. Wike wants to take over River State at all costs. That guy that has no name. The question I used to give to Wike is, who is your father? Your father is a nobody and you are a nobody, but you want to take over River State. Is it possible? No is the answer. I lived in River State. I was living in Rumokoro when I was in River State. So no is the answer. You cannot take over the whole of River State. But I want to say this at this particular point in time. Wike thinks he can cripple River State, but nobody can do that. Time will justify. Time will tell. We are only waiting for time. We are going to humiliate Wike. Wike is going to be humiliated in River State when that time comes. Shebi and Ahmed Tinubu is still in governance. Let's see what happens when he's no longer there. Let me see the faces of Wike. We have had so many people like that in this country. We don't hear of their names again. Nobody knows where they are. Offering of those days during Babangida time or whatever. We had them. They were raining. Where are they today? So we have had so many people like that, but where are they today? So Wike is just one of such men. So one day we'll hear Wike no more. So what I tell people, what to do against the people, I tell people, if you are looking for judgment of the Lord, you're just wasting time. Whatever you do on earth is for life. Okay, if you want to get money, make money, but don't make it in a dubious way, but anyway is a way. That is my statement. Anyway is a way, but don't make it a dubious way, in a blood money, don't make it. But anyway is a way. Whether smartness or whatever you call it is a way. So what I'm trying to tell you, you're waiting for God will judge you. God will judge. If God has not judged the lives of Tinubu and the lives of all these leaders, God has not judged them, then you'll be waiting for God's judgment. That's the truth. Because God is watching them. Is God not watching Tinubu? He's not watching it. He's watching to punish us. He watched Buhari punish all of us. Buhari went scot-free. Now it's Tinubu turn. It's not God watching it. So Christians, I pity you. All your GOs, all of you that used to say Jai Overseer, I pity all of you. He's watching. So let's see what is going to happen. That is what I just have to say to all of you. So I want to say at this point in time that please, if you're hearing me, you're at home. If you're a young man, you are aspiring to become great. You want to make money. Please, whatever you think you can make money with, do it, but don't do rituals and don't steal. But any other thing, man, make your fucking money and get out from there. This is MC Brahma on the microphone, relating this message to you Nigerians, telling you all that we all should learn how to be, or how do I put it? We all should learn how to be a good citizen of this country. But being a good citizen does not mean you should be a fool. Because I used to tell people, when you're a good citizen of Nigeria, that does not mean you should be a fool. Just like me, I tackle Tinubu all the time, so I'm not a fool. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time I come your way, I remain your son. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MC Grammar. Yes, MC Grammar have expressed his concerns and reservations regarding these happenings. Good morning, Mr. Matthew. It's a pleasure welcoming you.
Good morning, Mr. Tinubu.
Yes, the president, who happens to be the Grand Commander of Armed Forces of course, have said he expressed some level of dissatisfaction over the state of affairs, security affairs in Nigeria. Do you expect that as a surprise coming from the president?
I think it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because this is a man who say he asked for the job and he should not be pitied. And even if he didn't say he should not be pitied, you understand that as part of the responsibility that come with that office, it behoves on him as the president and the commander of the armed forces to protect lives and property. And the constitution is unambiguous about the importance of security of Nigerians and their welfare, to the extent that the constitution says that it shall be the primary purpose of governance. So it's at the cardinal of governance. So for me, Mr. President has no excuse, or Mr. President cannot be playing to the gallery. He cannot, as Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, will be justified if we speak to issues that have to do with insecurity, of maybe having conversation or how to address it. I don't think Mr. President should join us in that conversation. Rather, it behoves on him to take action to pilot the affairs that have to do with protecting lives and properties in Nigeria.
So can we blame him for this massacre because he happens to be the Grand Commander of the Armed Forces? Can we blame the, of course, incapacity of the service chief, which he and defense minister he appointed?
Obviously, when there is a security breach and you see Nigerians being killed in their number, the blame goes to the commander of the armed forces, that's Mr. President. The buck rests with him. So it is not, it's very obvious that when there is issue that to do with insecurity, or when we have a situation where the security agencies are not able to police the country and we are seeing killings, I think the blame goes to Mr. President. That's why it behoves on him to do the right thing. When this Kaduna issue happened particularly, we have been calling on Mr. President to do a thorough investigation, to unravel who did not do what he's supposed to do. But we understand that according to the military high command, that it was an intelligence they got. Yes, it's good to get intelligence. But what happened thereafter? You ought to subject that intelligence to forensic analysis, particularly if there was a surveillance drone that saw gathering of people. That was not done because we have seen the military coming out to say going forward, they'll be 100% sure before bombing. So it got to show that some persons who were saddled with responsibility of doing a thorough investigation or maybe having doing due diligence failed in that responsibility.
As usual, because this is not the first time.
And when it happens like this, it's better let us have an investigation. And anyone that's indicted, let the military high command organize an ordinary trial. And if any of them is found guilty, let the person be fired and hand over to the police for prosecution. When that is done, it will add a deterrent to other police, other officers of the military and other sister agencies who may want to act in the same manner.
Of course, setting up judicial inquiry into this matter. Do you trust Nigerian government to come out with something positive, or could it be an endless investigation? Because we have seen that in the past, that they never come out with something substantive, or of course to tell Nigerians these are their findings and this is the way to go. Can you trust them to do the same job now?
I have no trust in the government anyway. But that notwithstanding, I think it's necessary because it will have for record purpose. So for me, it is incumbent on the government to investigate what actually transpired, even if I have no trust in the system. So for record purpose, if anybody is indicted and action is not taken, we'll see it. Don't forget that under Muhammadu Buhari, you had a situation where some police officers who went to Taraba State or so to arrest the kidnapping pin. I'm talking of Wadume.
Yes.
They were summarily killed by police officers. And after that,
by military officers?
Yes. I'm confident to say because as at that time, there was a plan of inquiry that indicted the captain, I think about 9 other soldiers. But as we speak, it's not on record that those soldiers have been court-martialed, whether any punitive action have been taken against them, whether they have been handed over to police, whether they have been dismissed or handed over to police for prosecution or not. So that is, I don't have confidence in the system. But once that has been done, It's on record that some persons were indicted and the government refused to take action. So let us see the investigation, and if anyone is indicted, the government refused to take action, we still put it on record.
Just in a minute, just regard to the 27 defection of the PDP state assemblies to APC, and also the national collapse of the national grids.
I will tell you categorically, looking at that River State, I think at this point I do not have to sympathize with the governor. I'm talking about Fubara. I do not have to pity him, because I did say it the other day. It is not on this platform anyway, where I used a scenario to paint what transpired in River State. That if there was a saying in my place that a lady went to the farm and suddenly she shouted that pigs have come over her, the whole community ran from different directions to save the woman, only to get that the woman said that she's trying to test and know whether the community love her in the event that there is a pig attack. It happened twice, the same scenario. The third time when the pig came, the woman was shouting and people were saying, this is her usual way. If you get there, we will discover that there is nothing happening and she will want to test whether the community loves her. Eventually, in the evening, the woman did not come back. By the time they will dispatch a search team, they discovered that pigs have devoured the woman. And that may be the case of Fubara, because initially he shouted, the whole River State youth came out. Enough is enough for Wike. Wike, remove your hand from the state government, go back to Abuja. Before you know it, he came out. He started saying no, sacrifice is too much. So by the time Wike start fighting back and they want to devour him, I don't think anybody will listen to him. Honestly. Because I expected him to start fighting for the world group. Now, it's on record that 27 House members out of 32 have defected to APC.
Who are loyal to Wike.
So there is a signal that they're after him. I've seen PDP say they are going to write INEC to demand that there still be declare vacant and conduct another election. I don't know the section of the constitution they are relying on, because I have not seen that in the constitution. So I think it's a very big fight for the government, to ask me.
A very big fight. Of course, Nigerian grows because of the basic need exceed the real income. How do you expect such families to cope when your basic income could no longer meet your basic needs? Not just wants, needs.
I think we are seeing a government of deceit. I see this government as a government of deceit, because I even took note of what NSC is saying this morning, that the wage award 35,000. Yes, is it 25,000? Is that 25,000 or 35,000?
35,000.
35,000. That they only paid for September. Since September, they have refused to pay. So it's not surprising when you see people means of earning income is not able to cater for their needs. It's quite unfortunate, because we have seen government that have prioritized government revenue. I'm not saying it's wrong for government to make money, but the way they prioritize government revenue at the expense of the welfare of Nigerians, I think if care is not taken, Nigerians may react. And when they react, I don't think the government can contain it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for this wonderful and brilliant submissions here this morning. Yes, the people will react, but I don't think, of course, the government will be able to contain it. I think to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Yes, people are being pushed to the wall, and it appears they are, of course, doing nothing. But the reality is that the resentment is building up, the pains and agony is spreading, and one day the fire might be ignited, and everybody will call it for safety, including those in Asorok, because there will not be a place for anyone to hide. People are suffering extremely. Of course, poverty hitting the entire region. I mean, people are indeed suffering. By suffering, I mean extremely suffering, and an unimaginable level of suffering going on, where a whole family of 5 will be begging for Ijebu Gari to sip throughout the day. It is quite sad, it is quite unfortunate, but these are the realities People cannot continue. Humanity cannot be subjected to such level of cruelty. It's a cruelty. It's a crime against humanity for children to be deprived of food. Children dying of hunger. I saw one so married, so I mean, I hated this part of the world the more. Some married because this is arrant madness. Where are we going from here? What kind of is it a country? Is it a life? Is it humans being created by God? With all these billions being expended, lavished by the politicians, without having any recourse to the pains and agony of what the people are suffering. It is quite sad and unfortunate. But the reality is that, unfortunately, or unknowingly to the political elites, they are building a system they can't desire, they can't enjoy, because those people you are suffering today, you are denying their fundamental rights to good life and governance, will one day make the society ungovernable, unbearable, inhabitable for you and your children. It means you have no future. Yes, you have no future because you are building an army of disaster, an army of resistance, an army that will hate their supposed country, that will not desire anything about their country, because you are sowing that seed in the life of younger ones who have not committed any crimes. Their families and their mothers and fathers are losing their jobs, and the overbearing impact, negative impact, is having a sway on these children and on their life, on their existence, and their education. And you think they will be happy with the system. Well, that is quite unacceptable, and it's not. It can't be tolerated for long, and we are almost at the verge of that uncertainty. We are trapped already in that mess, where the government decisions are not guided by wisdom, are not guided by, of course, common sense, economic sense. You cannot be borrowing and expect the masses to be plunged into deep poverty. This is not just recession. Inflation is something overboard, and no society, no economy can survive the state at which the Nigerian economy is at this time, where the basic needs of the Nigerian populace, common masses, can no longer be met by whatever, of course, income they generate or the wages they are being paid. It is quite unfortunate, but then the reality is staring at us. One day, monkey go market, it no go return. Honestly, on this note, of course, we are winding up this morning's program. We must bring to mind, what do the government need to do? Of course, they know what to do to get Nigeria back on track, but do they have the courage? Do they have the capacity to do that? That is another very important question. And if they do, can they, of course, be trusted to commit themselves in sincerity towards such development? It's quite sad. We have Mr. Charles. Just about 2 minutes or so, we shall be rounding up.
Good morning, Mr. Charles. Good morning. God bless you.
Good morning. Compliments of the seasons.
To you. Good morning to our guests.
Yes, thank you. The President Tinubu said he don't tire about the security state of Nigeria. That he don't tire himself. Imagine somebody just 6 months into office say don't tire. He don't tire about the problem, the insecurity. So what do you do? What do you suggest to him to do?
Because I am much more quiet. You know why? The reason is very simple.
Look up. Okay.
How can the number one citizen of one of the most popular black African country in the world say that he's tired of insecurity? Don't we have everybody men? What are the budget that was meant for security purposes? Why will you be saying to us that you are tired with it? It means you are simply telling Nigerians, an average Nigerian, that we are nothing but useless. Everybody to your tent, or Israel. If a man whom the people whom has been there as a president of Nigeria have just decided to have told to the whole to have come out and said to the whole world that he is tired because of the insecurity rampaging Nigeria. I think I'm highly disappointed with Mr. President, wherever he is. He should be covering his faces with shame because it's not a welcome development. It's not an homage. The homage is very, very bad. It's disastrous. You are not sending good messages to Nigerians.
You know, maybe what he expected was not what he's saying. And he may have run out of ideas on how to navigate through this quagmire.
Mr. Chigozie,
But he is trying to borrow sense from people like you and the masses. Possibly you might advise him what to do if you have run out of ideas.
let's not.
He said he's not satisfied.
Chigozie, thank you very much. Yeah, God will continue to bless you, and this channel will go far in life. In Jesus' name. Chigozie, let me tell you, the problem we are having in Nigeria is overhyping. It's just like football. You will see somebody that plays football, look at him, you start telling him that this person is going to become the world best tomorrow, he's the African best, this and that. Tinubu was one time the governor of Lagos State. Being a governor of a particular state doesn't give you the right to be a good leader to almost all the 36 states of Nigeria, of which how many states we have in Nigeria? Almost 36 states. That was where we got it, most of the people got it wrong. Now, we are talking about insecurity, which has been one of the major factors eating the cankerworms as in bone marrow of every average Nigerian. I am disappointed with such statements. Look at what happened here at Kaduna few days ago. Soldiers going into bombing, calling it what? A mistake, negligence. Now, because don't forget the fact that during Buhari regime, the same thing happens to the people of Zamfara. During Buhari regime, the same incident happens with our military people in Borno State twice. And you are there telling us that it was nothing but a negligence. And then look at the little amount of money that have been mentioned to be given to most of those people. Of which every senator goes home with no less than 30 million naira per month, apart from their sitting allowances. And then you are giving somebody who lost 1, 2, 3, still counting, almost to 34 families. You are giving almost all the villagers 120 million. I am highly disappointed with this so-called governance.
Should you expect anything different in a country that value, of course, dogs more than their citizens?
That is the point. That is the point. I started losing hope on this country when you begin to equate a man who God have said, when God created Adam, God looked at Adam and said to Adam, I am very, very satisfied and happy that I have created man in my own image. The same man that God created in his own image, what happened? The same fellow man like you looked at man and said, dogs are better than man. The same man looked at your face and said, it's better for him to satisfy his dog than a man. That is when you begin to look at these people. Are they really human beings at all? These are vampires. These are evil men that happens to see themselves at the hands of authority. But don't forget something. God is still in the game. God is still in the business of flushing bad people. Anytime, any hour. So you cannot stay in a country where most of these people are much more disastrous to themselves. You bringing in what I may call, you said dogs is better than a human being like you that God created. It means that the government of itself is actually a disaster. So I am disappointed with this so-called administration. So they should go ahead and do whatever. Okay, because you are here we are into cashless policy. Gradually, we are entering into cashless policy. And the same CBN governor that just entered barely how many months at the office. Cashless policy almost everywhere. People cannot see money. Even if you have 1,000 naira in your account, you cannot even bring it out anymore. And the same government, look at the way our naira has been devalued. And instead of we, Nigerians, instead of most of these people that call themselves politicians, leaders, trying to lead by example by making sure that even the money, the Nigerian currency that has been devalued is actually rated in one of the world powers. But still, look at what is happening. There's no money anywhere. For even you to start even using the money in terms of what I'm called exchange rate, so that money you can at least quantify the level of Nigerian currency with American dollar. So that is to say the level of barbaric and the kind of government that we are falling into. That is why we are saying these people should continue whatever they are doing, but they should always remember posterity, and there's also what we call law of karma. It is very, very necessary that everybody should always remember the fact that we do not have time, but God is still at the business of flushing evil men out of the governance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for your wonderful submissions and time. Yes, the government is worried about the state of affairs of the country. It's not something that, of course, they will continue to live in denial because the reality is catching up with everyone, and there could not be any place for pretense because it's becoming more real to all and sundry across the regions of this country. And perhaps if the government have run ideas of what to do, I will possibly make some suggestions this morning. Yes, he has, of course, an option to tender resignation if he considers himself incapable to manage, of course, the problem, the nagging issues, the plurality of Nigerian problem cannot be approached by sentiments. And of course, and you expect something judicious to be done in regards to these issues. There are nagging issues which are the basis for this insecurity, nagging unaddressed issues that is begging for attention, begging for concern, which of course, but is not limited to the agitations of the Biafran resurrections, who are asking for justice, for equity, and for, of course, fairness in the affairs of or administration of this government and that of the previous administration, and who are also asking for the release of unconditional release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who has been discharged, acquitted by the Nigerian Appellate Court, and yet being held in what we call illegal detention in DSS custody. These are what are one of the many things which inform insecurity. What is the political will and sincerity on the part of the government to address those myriads of problems? You cannot continue to live in denial and think things will work out. It's never done. Rather, if you keep on aggravating the situation, such issues would have been nipped at the bud if the government have expressed some level of sincerity, commitment, and of course dedication to the service to humanity and the nationhood. But unfortunately, they choose to live in denial and thinking that will substitute for what should have been done. But that have already, of course, that have only landed us to more problems because we failed to solve and confront the problem that is, of course, before us. And it has grown to monsters now. Virtually all the regions of this country have not enjoyed peace in less than, of course, about decades ago. And more insecurity is building up. And the state of the nation is not something for anyone to desire. The government of Tinubu has two options: to resign or to split this country. Let every region go their separate way. And of course, this will create more job opportunities, more opportunities for the teeming populations of different regions who will be absorbed, of course, into more productive engagements. Yes, imagine when you create Biafran Republic, Oduduwa Republic, and Arewa Republic, there will be more job for the youths because different ministries and parastatals, different companies, we want to be afloat and they will need human, of course, resources to carry out their daily economic endeavors. And this will, of course, lift millions out of poverty. It is rather better we part our ways than remaining one entity stuck in the wheel of motionless despair, agony, pain, death, staring at us almost on daily basis. That has traumatized and of course millions, and everybody is not happy with the system. So if the government of the day can express such fears, worries, disappointment over the state of the security, not just about human lives. Of course, people will no longer afford to eat because their source of income has been eroded by the inflation. And this is quite sad. Transportation is nothing. I mean, somebody told me that he has to resign because his transportation alone, his salary eats up his transportation eats up his salary in 3 weeks. So how can you continue with that? I mean, it is a very pitiable situation, a very worrisome one for that matter. And if you have, of course, any reservation regarding this statement, let's, of course, hear you via the comment section and what you think needed to be done that has not been done. What you think, of course, could solve this problem once and for all. I've made 2 frantic submissions. The president should resign and apologize to the Nigerians, and of course move on to divide this country so that more jobs will be created. The peoples will be given meaningful, of course, livelihoods. People could be proud to call themselves humans, not be subjected to such level of cruelty. If a society cannot feed her own population, that society is at the risk of extinction. That may not be far from this story of Nigeria as it stands now. I leave you with this until I come your way in subsequent editions, hoping and trusting God for your safety and blessings. Chigozendibo wishing you all the best of the Unitide. But don't forget, of course, to show someone some love as much as God grants you the grace. Don't shut, of course, your bowels of compassion and mercy when you see things around and you can lead them with your finger. Don't ignore it because nobody knows tomorrow. If God has given you the privilege today, you should express a level of gratitude by appreciating Him and extending, of course, making the world better. The society and everyone around you should feel some sense of comfort if you care. Bye for now. Until the next edition.